Hello and welcome to another MK Link member spotlight. And today I'm very pleased to welcome Aaron Russell from File Sanctuary, filesanctuary.net. Hello, Aaron.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks very much for coming along. And today, Aaron's prepared some slides to go through, which explains a lot about the business and the advantages, of course, and what makes File Sanctuary different. But first of all, I just want to be able to tell everybody just a little bit about yourself and what led you to technology and how that led you to File Sanctuary.
Sure. So I've always had an interest in computers and technology ever since I was first shown an Amstrad CPC computer, which is, I guess, their equivalent of the Spectrum back in the very late 80s. And ever since then, anything with kind of buttons or shiny lights I was drawn to. So it was kind of inevitable I would end up working with computers, I think. Just kind of making computers do things, building things with computers. And then I got interested in the internet and websites and building GeoCities sites and things like that, which inevitably led to curiosity on how do these things actually work? How can I build my own one of these without having to use these other services, essentially? And that eventually led me to learning about Apache and Linux and things like that, and figuring out how to build web servers. And it kind of all just spiraled out from there, really.
And here we are at File Sanctuary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, without further ado, if you'd like to go through what you prepared here, it was standardizing WordPress hosting for cloud servers for MSPs. Thanks very much, Aaron.
Thank you. So, for those of you who haven't met me yet, I'm Aaron from File Sanctuary. If you've not heard of File Sanctuary before, we started out doing web hosting and dial-up internet all the way back in 2001. So the business just turned 25 in May. Since then, we've grown the business, expanding into new areas such as broadband, leased lines, and building out our own public cloud infrastructure with zero dependence on the hyperscalers such as AWS, Azure, and Google. But importantly, we've maintained a small team so that we can maintain a personal touch with each of our customers. Today's session is very deliberately practical. This isn't a marketing overview. It's a walkthrough of how we help MSPs reduce hosting friction, standardize delivery, and take the risk out of WordPress and cloud workloads. We'll be doing some live demos, and I'll show you exactly how things work in the control panel, warts and all. Here's what I want you to walk away with today. Firstly, a clear understanding of how our WordPress hosting removes a lot of the risk and maintenance overhead that MSPs normally deal with. Second, where cloud servers fit when WordPress hosting isn't enough without throwing you into the hyperscaler complexity. And third, how MSPs typically package and sell these services so that they're repeatable and profitable rather than bespoke and fragile. This is all about kind of reducing noise and not adding tools to your stack. So I'm going to start with a problem here that probably everyone will recognize to some extent. Most MSPs don't intentionally create hosting chaos. It just sort of happens over time. WordPress sites end up scattered across different providers. Updates to plugins and WordPress core get delayed because they might break something important on the site. Security hardening is completely different on every site that you own. And sooner or later, you find a customer that just buys a cheap VPS somewhere and then turns to you saying, hey, can you just manage this for us? All of that increases risk, increases ticket volume, and quietly eats away at your margins. The core issue isn't WordPress, it's a lack of standardization. And what we focus on at File Sanctuary is reducing that variability. One standard way to host WordPress, one standard way to harden it, one standard way to update it safely. And when WordPress isn't enough, a cloud platform that still feels predictable and controllable, not enterprise scale chaos. I'll show you both sides of that now, starting with WordPress hosting. Our WordPress hosting is built on top of our web hosting platform, so you get all the features included with web hosting, but with extra features tuned specifically for WordPress workloads. The goal is very simple. Take the riskiest parts of WordPress management, so your updates and your security, make them boring. From an MSP perspective, boring is good. Boring means less tickets. So there are 4 WordPress hosting features that matter the most to MSPs. Firstly, as soon as you order a site with us, WordPress is pre-installed. When a site is created, WordPress is already there. There's no manual setup, no uploading zip files, no configuring databases, no scripts to follow, no setup wizard. It's just already there, live, ready for you to log in. Secondly, you get one-click security hardening. This applies industry best practice security settings to your WordPress site automatically. And importantly, it's reversible. So if you don't like a particular change, you can just roll it back. Third, and this one matters the most, automatic updates that don't blindly break sites. Updates are tested on a clone first. If everything looks good, they're applied to the live site, and on the rare occasions this isn't the case, you're prompted to review it. Fourth, vulnerability protection, leveraging patch stack intelligence to defend your site against known vulnerabilities before the updates are even installed, or in some cases when no update's even available yet. And finally, all this is managed through the WordPress toolkit in Plesk. So a lot of day-to-day WordPress work doesn't even require logging into WP Admin. You have a single pane of glass to manage all of your WordPress sites in one place. Underneath WordPress hosting, you automatically inherit all of our standard web hosting features. That includes free SSL certificates on every site, requested, installed, and enforced automatically. A powerful web application firewall with tens of thousands of rules protecting your site against things like cross-site scripting attacks and SQL injection attacks and many other types of online nasties. Malware scanning built in, so your site will be scanned regularly for any malware, any malicious PHP files might have popped up. These are detected and blocked. And also there is heuristic scanning on the actual PHP execution. So if any unusual code that isn't on disk is running, this is also detected and blocked. And you also have click-through migrations for both websites and email. So you can just import your site from the previous hosting provider in just a couple of clicks, and you can pull in all of the emails that you have on the other hosting provider in just a few clicks. We'll pull either from pop mailboxes, or we'll log into IMAP accounts and scoop up all the files, all the emails and all the folders into equivalent mailboxes on our side. All of this is designed to ensure that the tech stack gets out of your way as much as possible. It's infrastructure you don't have to think about, it just works. So let me show you what this looks like in practice. In true Blue Peter fashion, I'm going to start with a WordPress account that was created earlier. So I'm just going to hit log into Plesk here, and this will log into the WordPress hosting platform. And what you'll see here is this is our website that we created on the WordPress hosting platform. It's a freshly ordered account, and we can see straight away WordPress is already installed. It has a random name that's assigned, which I can change just by clicking that. We can see it's on the latest WordPress. All the plugins are up to date. All the themes are up to date. And vulnerabilities are mitigated. Vulnerability protections turned on. And smart updates are turned on as well. If you wanted to improve the performance, we could also do asset caching just by toggling that on. And that will leverage our dual web server technology, where Apache runs the PHP code and Nginx flings out the assets at the fastest possible speeds. Now, I mentioned earlier that you have a single pane of glass, and although we've logged into this site, if I scroll down, you can see the other site that we have on this account, and we can see all of the settings for both of these WordPress sites on one pane of glass. I don't need to log into two separate WP admins on two different domains to be able to manage these. I can handle both of these from one place. Now, I'm just going to toggle across to the WordPress screen here just to get a slightly different view on that. Now, over here, you'll see this second site is one that we've imported from another hosting provider. It's one that is not running the latest version of WordPress. You can see we're on 695, whereas we should be on 702. We can see there's some theme updates that are required. There's plugin updates required. And we haven't got vulnerability protection enabled. There's some critical security measures that need applying and things like that. So this site needs a little bit of care to get it to a happy state. So let's see if we can get it up and running in just a couple of minutes here to the best possible condition. So the first thing we'll do is we'll do the one-click security hardening, because that'll mitigate the worst possible attacks, the most frequent attacks on WordPress. So I'll click on here, and you'll see that here are all the things that we can mitigate. We're doing these things with green ticks. These things are all doing okay. All of these red things are high-risk things that we probably want to be patching, and then we can optionally do all of these yellow ones as well to make sure we're protecting against those. So things like bot protection or blocking access to XML RPC features and things like that. Now, if I just want to do one-click hardening, I can just tick that box, hit secure, and our WordPress hosting platform will go and apply all of those mitigations in just a few seconds here. So we'll just give it a few moments just to complete that. There you go. And straight away, you can see that security measures were applied to this WordPress installation. And if I close out of here, it now says all security measures applied. Let's now look at the updates. We've got WordPress core needs updating, as well as some plugin and theme updates. So I'm going to go into the update screen, and I'm just going to press select all updates, and we'll press update. We can see we've got the core update. We've got an update for Kismet. We've got quite an old version of Contact Form 7 on here, and there's some minor upgrades for the 2024 and 2025 themes here. So we'll press update, and this will all be handled automatically. Now, because we're updating WordPress core, you'll note that it also creates a restore point just in case you want to roll back this change. This doesn't happen with plugin updates, but it does happen with WordPress core because there's more that can go wrong with those. I'm just going to give us a few moments just to apply these updates, and we will pick up in just a second. Now, while this is happening, I could leave this on the screen. I could press the X and go and do other things, or I could close this tab entirely. All of this stuff continues happening in the background. I could switch off my computer, and this stuff will continue to happen on the server once you trigger it. So you don't have to wait around on this screen, but I'm just doing that for the purposes of the demo, so you can get a feel for how the workflow works. Perfect. And just like that, we've just updated 2 plugins, 2 themes, and WordPress core in just a matter of seconds. Now, for sites that you're importing, you can also turn on automatic updates, which we strongly recommend. They're on by default for WordPress core, and we do recommend that you enable forced updates for themes and plugins. What will happen is every single night or every single morning in the early hours, our WordPress hosting platform will update WordPress core, WordPress plugins, and WordPress themes. I've disabled it for the purposes of this demo, but usually this is all switched on by default to ensure that your sites are always secure for you. Now, the risk of updating plugins and themes automatically is, or even WordPress core, is that sometimes these plugins, these updates can cause things to break. So that's where smart updates come in. All we need to do is toggle that switch, and this site is now enrolled in smart updates. With smart updates, if an update is available for anything, whether that's core, plugins, or themes, the site first is cloned automatically by the system, and then a screenshot is taken of every single page on the clone. The clone then has the updates applied to it, and a fresh round of screenshots are then taken. If all the screenshots match between the pre-update state and the post-update state, we can be pretty confident that the site isn't broken, layout hasn't shifted, no error messages have appeared, things haven't vanished from the page. So we know that the update is good. So when that happens, the clone is removed and the updates are applied automatically for real on the live site without you having to lift a finger. If the screenshots show changes, there's visual differences between the before and after screenshots, you'll get notified by email to take a look and review things on the clone. And you'll be able to click through the screenshots and you'll see a side-by-side comparison of before and after. So you can decide if it's something that's safe to proceed with or not. All of this happens without the live site being harmed. The live site isn't touched unless either the system is 100% confident that the screenshots are identical, or if you manually approve it after a review. So what this means is you don't get any more random breakage of WordPress sites due to plugins and customers phoning at 9 a.m. saying, hey, my website's down. That problem just goes away. There's a few other things we can do here. I can go into the plugin section here and I can add custom plugins. So let's say I wanted to add the Yoast SEO plugin. I can press install. I can search for Yoast. And I can hit install. And we can install this plugin without even going anywhere near WordPress admin. This can be handy if you are wanting to install a plugin across a whole range of sites. Let's say you've got Google Analytics plugin that you want to add or something like that. You can just go and quickly add it to all of your sites without having to log into a whole bunch of different WP admin panels. You can just do it straight from this one pane of glass. You can also do the same thing for themes as well here. A couple other nice things we can do. If I just close this results box, we can check the integrity of WordPress. So if we suspect something might be wrong with WordPress, maybe some of the WordPress core files have been tampered with, we can press the check WordPress integrity button down here, and we can press verify checksums. And what it'll do is it'll look at each of the files in WordPress core and just make sure that the checksums match the official versions. If they don't, we can hit this button to reinstall WordPress core, and it will go and basically just replace those core WordPress files without changing any of the theme files, WP config, anything that's going to break the site, just so you know that all of the key files are intact and exactly as they should be. One other thing we can enable here is vulnerability protection. This enables that patch stack intelligence to ensure that your site is defended even against vulnerabilities that you don't have updates installed for yet, or where those updates just aren't made yet. Sometimes you get a 0 day, and patch stack, as soon as they find out about it, they will update this this plugin to protect your site as a mitigation until the proper fix comes along in the form of a plugin update or a WordPress core update. And switching it on is literally as easy as just pressing vulnerability protection. It takes a couple of seconds just while it adds the plugin to your site, and then that switch will turn to the on state. Now, the other thing we can do as well from here is you'll notice each of these sites has a login button. And so from here, I can actually just press that login button and you just get SSO directly into that site's WP admin area, so you can log in and manage the site directly. There we go. So you don't need to keep track of hundreds potentially of different WordPress site logins. You can just have direct login just from the WordPress hosting platform. The key thing to note here is that this reduces fatigue and risk. You don't have to deal with each site's WP admin working differently. We give you a single consistent pane of glass to manage all of your sites. This is about removing problems, not adding dashboards. So just to recap, WordPress is available right away as soon as a new site is created, or you can import your own site if you're bringing a site in that you already have built. Security hardening can be performed in just one click. Smart updates keep your site always up to date without breaking them. Vulnerability protection keeps your site safe, even when updates aren't yet installed or available. There's a single pane of glass to manage all of your sites, making life easier for you and your team. Now, WordPress covers a huge number of workloads, but not all of them. Eventually, you'll have customers with line of business apps, integrations, performance-sensitive workloads, or environments where shared hosting simply isn't appropriate. And that's where cloud servers come in. Now, WordPress hosting and our web hosting platforms are what are conventionally called shared hosting platforms. Cloud servers are similar to a VPS. It's a operating system in a box on a server that's dedicated to you. Our cloud servers are designed to feel like servers, but not abstract cloud products. So you can run Linux, Windows, FreeBSD, or even any other operating system you like on our platform. You'll get full root or administrator access to your server. From the control panel, you can boot, reboot, shut down, or completely rebuild a cloud server in seconds. If you need more RAM, disk, or bandwidth, just add it. No migrations, no more re-platforming projects. Your cloud server just reboots and immediately has the extra resources. You don't need to wait for us to go and unrack your machine, open it up, put some more DIMMs in there, or put some more drives in there. Use a couple of clicks and you have the extra resources. If you want, you can optionally add server management, and we'll handle monitoring your server, patching it, 24/7 emergency support, while you stay in control commercially for your customer. Or you can have the servers unmanaged, and you can add that value yourself, and we'll stay completely hands-off. There are no long-term contracts with cloud servers. You pay month to month. It's easy in, easy out. We want you to stay because it's good and reliable, not because we're locking you in. We also have a dynamic cloud option where servers are billed hourly, which is great if you just want a throwaway server to test something out, or if you want to try out an idea without necessarily needing the server for the whole month. So let's take a look at cloud servers, first of all. Cloud servers are our VPS-style service with monthly billing. Great for predictability. Cloud servers come with a simple base plan upon which you can slice and dice every resource to fit your exact requirements. So if you want a server that's, tons of RAM but not much storage and not much CPU, or if you want a CPU-heavy machine that doesn't have much disk space, or if you want something that's just a storage powerhouse that just has tons and tons of storage, you can customize that. You don't have to take RAM and CPU you don't need, or disk space you don't need. You can slice and dice this exactly how you want, just with one base plan and then these add-ons. You can choose from a wide range of operating systems. Out of the box, we support Ubuntu, Debian, Alma Linux, Windows Server. We offer SPLA licensing for Windows Server, and we even support FreeBSD. Optionally, we provide management for cloud servers, which is something that some of our customers want, particularly our non-technical customers, but obviously for you guys, I imagine that's where you're wanting to be adding that value. So if you don't want that, that's fine. You can have it completely unmanaged. We'll just ensure it's connected to power and network, and you can handle everything from there. So let me show you an existing cloud server. Again, Blue Peter fashion, I've got one here that I made earlier. So we'll just go to the Manager panel for that. So from here, I can reboot the server. I can just press restart. Other things we can do from here is we can reinstall it, choose a different operating system. We can get access to the VNC console if we want to see what's on the screen of that server right now, which I will do as soon as it comes back from the restart. Probably shouldn't have done that restart first. While waiting for that to restart, I'll show you how we can scale resources of your cloud server. So this cloud server currently has, if I go to upgrade, downgrade options. So this server currently has 2 gigs of RAM, 20 gigs of storage, terabyte of monthly transfer, and 2 CPU cores. Now, let's say I know I'm getting a lot of traffic this weekend, or I'm going to be doing some maintenance work this weekend. I can bump this up to say 8 CPU cores, check out, and the server reboots within 2 minutes and picks up those extra resources. Same if I want to add extra disk space. Same if I want to add more RAM to the server. Or if I know I'm going to be pushing tons of traffic, I can bump the traffic allowance for this server, no problem at all. If I wanted to add a Windows license, I can do that here and pick, say, Windows Server 2025, no problem at all. If I want to add RDS cells and things like that, I can do all of that here as well. If I wanted to opt a server that's unmanaged into server management, I can toggle that. If I go back to the service details, we'll probably see that's finished rebooting by now.
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, if I hit VNC access, you'll see that I now get access to the console of the server as if I was plugging a screen and keyboard directly into it. This is really helpful in situations where maybe you have lost networking. If you've misconfigured the network or something like that, you just log in directly to the VNC console and manage the server directly as if you were sat in front of it. Super helpful for rescuing your server. We also provide a rescue boot image. So if you are unable to boot the server for whatever reason, you can boot into a rescue ISO and recover the server from there in just a few clicks as well. Because you have full admin access to your servers here, there's no hidden constraints or provider-specific lock-ins to workarounds. There's no if you want to pick your server up and move it elsewhere, you can. But similarly, if you want to move a server into us, it's really easy because there's nothing weird or unusual. It's just servers running the operating system of choice. So it should be, for all intents and purposes, feel the same as if you had a box in the room in front of you. This gives you real server level control without the operational overhead of hyperscalers and the unpredictability of billing you get with the hyperscalers. Now, if you want something a little bit more advanced than that, we also have our dynamic cloud platform where you can spin servers up by the hour with post-pay billing. Great for testing or if you want flexibility. Our dynamic cloud platform, if we want to spin up a server in here, it's going to servers and we'll add a server. So we can pick from, again, a range of operating systems. We can pick a range of data centers. These ones come in kind of cookie cutter style plans with set tiers, so you always know where you stand in terms of packaging. This is really useful because you can programmatically spin up servers, and I'll explain more on that in a moment. Let's say I wanted this server here. You can see how much it's going to be, how much it is per hour. This one's just 15 pence per hour. I can optionally switch on backups for this server, and you can upload an SSH key. And you can even provide a cloud init script if you want to have it automatically deploy your line of business applications. Or if you just want a clean OS, you can just press create now and it'll build your server in a few seconds. Our dynamic cloud also comes with a fully documented API. Yeah, so you can programmatically spin up servers up and down to meet dynamic workload requirements. We have some servers doing this for websites that get very bursty traffic, so they can react to those spikes in traffic and add resource when they need it. And we have other customers using it for things like GitLab CI workers that are only really needed temporarily to perform builds based on developer commit activity. In both cases, Dynamic Cloud allows them to keep costs right down versus always on monthly bill cloud servers. They're only paying for the compute resource they need when they need it, and the rest of the time they just tear it down and they only have the core resource that they would normally have on a day-to-day basis. This gives you the same power you get with a hyperscaler to be able to react to spikes in resource requirement, but without the high costs or the impossible to understand billing and unexpected surprises in billing that you might get from those platforms. Whether you're looking at cloud servers or dynamic cloud, both of them run on our same platform, the File Sanctuary Cloud, on the same technology stack, which is why if I go to projects, you'll actually see that same server that we saw on the other side, it actually shows up in here as well, because it is the same platform. It's just two different ways of looking at that same platform. So I can look in here, and I can see, if I pull up the VNC console here, you'll see those same characters that I left on the login prompt are still there because it is the exact same system. So with our dynamic cloud platform, I mentioned we have a wide range of operating systems that you can choose from. But in addition to our operating systems, you can also choose from a range of pre-packaged applications. So if I click on applications here, you can have a range of things. So let's say you wanted an OpenClaw instance. You can click what server size you want, and you can have OpenClaw up and running in just a few seconds. Maybe you prefer Open Web UI, you can have that up and running. Or if you want LibreChat or N8N or GitLab or OpenVPN, they're all just a couple of clicks away. You can figure out how you want, and then the server is built for you in a matter of minutes. If you want something else, again, you can use your own custom Clouds init script, or you can even bring your own ISO images by pressing Add ISO Image. You just pop it on an HTTPS server somewhere. And optionally, for security, you can also provide a SHA-256 checksum just to make sure that there's no tampering with those images between your servers and ours. You can even install Plesk on a managed cloud server, and we'll build you a hosting company in a box, your own white-labeled Plesk control panel that offers some or perhaps all of the features in our shared WordPress hosting platform, but completely white-labeled to you, and with us looking after the server behind the scenes optionally if you choose our server management add-on. So as you've seen, cloud servers and our dynamic cloud platform are very powerful and designed to work with all of your workloads. From an MSP perspective, cloud servers are usually used in one of four ways: isolated application hosting, customer-specific environments, staging or test infrastructure, and workloads that need to scale over time. The important thing is that these don't have to be one-off snowflakes. The platform stays consistent across all of your servers. Yeah, again, you have a single pane of glass for managing all of those servers. If all this looks useful, the next steps are really simple. We can just spin up a test WordPress hosting account for you and a cloud server free for 30 days so you can test things out for yourself. Just scan the QR code below or call the number on screen to book a meeting with me at a time that's convenient for you, and I'll set you up with a trial. No questions asked. We'll support you with your first migration if you want to see how it feels in the real world. Just call us up. We'll walk you through getting the site imported, getting everything up and running, and just making sure you're happy with how to use the platform. We're always happy to talk through how to make sure you're getting the most value from our services as well. If there's features that you've not touched, let us know, and we can kind of explain how you can leverage those to benefit your customers. I feel like I waffled on for a little bit, so at this point, I'm going to stop talking and open it up for any questions.
Well, that was brilliant. Thank you so much, Aaron. I really appreciate you going through all of that. That was very detailed and very interesting. And I think everybody is familiar with some of the challenges that hosting can throw at them. And this system looks really, really flexible and really manageable. And thanks for going through all the aspects of it with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.